Every now and then, something happens that cannot be explained. A plane disappears without a trace. An entire civilization vanishes overnight. A cipher teases the world with its silence for over half a century. These are not just stories. They are echoes, etched into history, daring us to solve them. Welcome to a journey through the top 10 most unsolved mysteries in the world, where every answer only leads to more questions. Let's begin.
Mystery number 10, the Dyatlov Pass Incident, frozen in fear. In the dead of winter, 9 Soviet students and experienced hikers embarked on a challenging trek through the Ural Mountains. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, the group included engineers, athletes, and even a World War II veteran. They were young, strong, and skilled, but something terrible happened. When they failed to check in, a rescue team went out, and what they found shocked even the most hardened investigators. First, the tent. It was found on a remote slope, slashed open from the inside, not unzipped, not torn by weather, but cut by a knife. Their belongings, boots, coats, even food were still inside. So why did they flee barefoot into sub-zero temperatures? The bodies were found days later. 2 lay under a tree, stripped nearly naked, with burned hands, suggesting they'd tried to light a fire. 3 others were found sprawled in a line, as if crawling back. But it was the last 4 that terrified experts. 1 had a crushed skull. 2 had shattered ribs, injuries similar to car crashes, yet no external wounds. And 1 woman's tongue and eyes were missing. No animal tracks, no other footprints, and radiation was found on their clothes. Soviet authorities classified the case as caused by a compelling natural force and quickly sealed the files. Over the decades, theories have included avalanche, but the slope didn't match avalanche conditions; infrasound, a low-frequency wind causing panic; military testing, secret weapons or parachute mines gone wrong; Yeti or alien encounters pushed by strange lights seen in the sky that night. In 2020, Russian authorities reopened the case and ruled it an avalanche again, but few believe it. To this day, the Dyatlov Pass remains a chilling puzzle locked in ice and silence.
Mystery number 9, the wow signal. A message from the stars? The universe is vast, filled with billions of stars and planets. We've always wondered, is anyone out there? On one ordinary night in 1977, the universe may have answered. Astronomer Jerry Amon was reviewing data from the Big Ear telescope. Suddenly, he noticed something shocking, a spike in radio frequency, unlike anything ever recorded. It lasted 72 seconds. It wasn't from Earth, satellites, planes, or known sources. The signal was 30 times stronger than background noise. And then, it vanished. Amon circled the signal code 6EQJ5 and wrote one word beside it: wow. What made the signal so compelling? It came from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation. It matched the hydrogen line, the most basic frequency a civilization might use. It wasn't repeated, never again. Over the years, astronomers have proposed theories: a rotating comet, a one-off burst from a star, a classified satellite, but none fully explain it. In 2022, scientists claimed a nearby star system, 2 MASS 192-81982-2640123, might be a source, but it's still inconclusive. And so, the WOW signal stands as perhaps the best candidate for alien contact, or the greatest cosmic coincidence ever recorded. Until it happens again, we're left staring into the dark, waiting.
Mystery number 8. The Zodiac Killer. Ciphers of Death. Some killers crave chaos. Some crave power. The Zodiac craved attention, and he got it. He began his reign of terror in December 1968, when 2 teenagers were shot on a lover's lane. Over the next few years, he murdered at least 5 victims, possibly more. But it was his letters that gripped the world. He mailed newspapers handwritten notes filled with bizarre symbols, cryptic codes, and mocking threats. He claimed to have killed 37 people, and he challenged the police to crack his puzzles. One of his first ciphers, called the Z408, was solved by a schoolteacher and his wife. It read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." Others remained uncracked for decades. Until 2020, when a team of amateur codebreakers solved the Z340 cipher using AI and software. Its chilling message? I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. Even with the deciphered text, the killer's identity remained hidden. Suspects have included Arthur Lee Allen, a teacher with disturbing ties to the crimes, Richard Gajkowski, a newspaper editor with cryptographic interest, Gary Post, a now deceased man whose name allegedly fits into Zodiac's code, though evidence is still debated. Despite sketches, fingerprints, DNA, and national coverage, the Zodiac vanished. No arrest, no conviction, no closure. His puzzle pieces remain, but the killer himself? Still a cipher.
Mystery number 7. The Somerton Man, Tamám Shud. Early one morning in 1948, a well-dressed man was found dead on Somerton Beach. He had no identification, no signs of trauma, no labels on his clothing. He looked peaceful, as if asleep. Investigators were baffled. Then a twist. In a tiny pocket sewn into his trousers, they found a scrap of paper. Tamám Shud, Persian for "it is ended." The phrase came from a rare book of poetry by Omar Khayyam. That exact book was later found in an abandoned car nearby. Inside it, a hidden code, scratched in faint pencil, 5 lines of random capital letters, never deciphered. Some believed he was a Cold War spy. Others said he was poisoned, but no trace of toxins were found. A nurse who may have known him refused to talk. Over 70 years later, DNA technology revealed a possible identity: Carl Charles Webb, a Melbourne engineer. But no motive, no confirmed link to espionage, no confirmed cause of death. The mystery is partially solved, but the story is far from finished.
Mystery number 6. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. The plane that vanished. A routine flight, 239 passengers and crew. A Boeing 777 leaves Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. It never arrives. Within 40 minutes, all communication is lost. Transponders off, radar silent. The plane vanishes over the South China Sea. Military radar later tracked it looping back, west then south. Hours later, an Inmarsat satellite picked up a final handshake over the southern Indian Ocean. Despite the largest search in aviation history, the wreckage was never fully recovered. Only a few fragments, like a flopperon, washed ashore in Madagascar and Reunion. Theories flooded the world. Pilot suicide, with flight path resembling a deliberate diversion. Hijacking, mechanical failure, cyber attack, or even military shootdown. No distress signal, no black box recovered, no bodies. MH370 became a modern myth, equal parts tragedy and enigma. 239 lives simply gone. And a world still asking, how does a jumbo jet disappear?
Mystery number 5. The Voynich Manuscript, the book no one can read. Imagine discovering a book written in an unknown language filled with illustrations of alien plants, mystical diagrams, and nude women bathing in strange green fluids. That book exists. It's called the Voynich Manuscript, and no one has ever cracked it. Found in 1912 by rare book dealer Wilfred Voynich, this 240-page manuscript is written in an undecipherable script. No known alphabet, no match to any language past or present. Some pages include charts that appear to be astronomical, but the stars and symbols don't align with known systems. Other sections contain biological diagrams, women interconnected by tubes and flowing liquids. The botanical pages feature plants that don't exist anywhere on Earth. Is it an elaborate hoax? A medieval experiment in invented language? Or perhaps a lost scientific record from a forgotten civilization? Codebreakers from WW2 tried. So did the NSA. Even modern AI has been stumped. While carbon dating proves it's authentic, its content remains a locked vault. Some even speculate it's written in glossolalia, language produced during altered states or spiritual trances. The mystery of the Voynich Manuscript isn't just what it says, it's who wrote it, why, and for whom. It is the world's most unreadable book, and it continues to whisper secrets from the past.
Mystery number 4. Time travelers in old photographs. In our world obsessed with the present, what if the past has already recorded the future? It started with a black and white photo taken in 1941 during the reopening of a bridge in British Columbia, Canada. In the crowd stands a man wearing what looks like modern sunglasses, a printed t-shirt, and holding a small digital camera. He's out of place. He looks like someone who time traveled from the 2000s. People called him the time-traveling hipster. Then came more anomalies. A 1938 video from a factory shows a woman laughing and speaking into what appears to be a cell phone. Historians argued it might have been a hearing aid or portable radio, except no such devices existed in that exact form. In Charlie Chaplin's 1928 film, The Circus, an extra walks by appearing to talk on a device held to her ear. Is it simply coincidence, or are we catching glimpses of people out of time? One theory suggests time travel may already exist, but only for brief observational purposes. Others say it's nothing more than pareidolia, our brain seeing patterns where none exist. Still, every so often, a blurry face, a strange gadget, or a misplaced man in history appears, unchanged while the world around them remains in black and white. Coincidence, or proof that some doors of time have already been opened.
Mystery number 3. D.B. Cooper, the man who jumped and vanished. It was the day before Thanksgiving. A man in a black suit boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305 in Portland, bound for Seattle. He gave his name as Dan Cooper, later mistakenly called D.B. Cooper by the press. Halfway through the flight, he handed the flight attendant a note. "I have a bomb." He showed her a briefcase full of wires and red sticks.
Calmly, he demanded $200,000, 4 parachutes, and a refueling truck ready in Seattle. The FBI complied. Once he got the money and parachutes, he released the passengers. Then, with only the crew on board, Cooper ordered the plane back in the air toward Mexico City. But somewhere over the cold, stormy forests of Washington state, he opened the rear staircase, strapped the money to himself, and jumped. He was never seen again. Years later, a boy found $5,800 buried along a riverbank, bills matching the ransom, but no body, no parachute, no further trace. Suspects ranged from ex-military paratroopers to disgruntled engineers, but nothing ever stuck. Did he die in the fall, or get away clean, disappearing with the cash? D.B. Cooper didn't just vanish, he rewrote the rules of impossible disappearances.
Mystery number 2. The Lost City of Atlantis. Civilization swallowed by the sea. More than 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Plato told a story of a mighty civilization, Atlantis, a kingdom richer than Egypt, filled with grand palaces, lush gardens, advanced knowledge, and pride. But Atlantis was punished for its greed. In one terrible night, the entire island sank beneath the sea. Scholars have debated for centuries, was Plato describing real history or creating a parable? Some researchers link Atlantis to the Minoan civilization on Crete and Thera, which was obliterated by a volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE. Others suggest locations ranging from the Azores Islands, Caribbean, Antarctica, and even under the Sahara Desert. Advanced sonar and satellite scans have discovered submerged structures, walls, roads, even pyramidal shapes. Could Atlantis have been an advanced society wiped out by an ancient cataclysm, or just a myth that grew too big to contain? Even today, explorers dive into the ocean, hoping to find ruins, chasing dreams of a lost world that dared to rival the gods. Atlantis is more than a myth. It's a memory, waiting to be remembered. Mystery number 1. The Lost Colony of Roanoke. In 1587, over 100 English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina, to establish one of the first English colonies in the New World. When the colony's leader, John White, returned to England for supplies, he was delayed by war. By the time he returned 3 years later, in 1590, the entire colony had vanished without a trace. All that remained was the word Croatan carved into a wooden post and crow etched into a tree. There were no signs of struggle, no graves, and no bodies. Historians and archaeologists have been baffled ever since. Some theories suggest the colonists may have been absorbed into local Native American tribes. Others believe they attempted to sail back to England and were lost at sea. And some even claim they were wiped out by supernatural forces. But to this day, the fate of the Roanoke colony remains one of America's greatest historical mysteries. These mysteries are more than unsolved cases. They are reminders that no matter how much we map, explain, digitize, and record, the world is still bigger than our understanding. So now we ask you, which of these unsolved mysteries haunts you the most? Which do you think might one day be solved? And which might be secrets we were never meant to know? Like, share, subscribe, and remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.